Welcome all of you in a series of lecture on bonding in the molecule. This is video lecture 7, and in this lecture I am going to explain slightly complicated molecular orbital energy level diagram than discussed in the earlier lecture, and the molecules that are to be discussed are B2, C2, N2, O2 and F2. So in this lecture we will learn formation of B2, C2, N2, O2 and F2 molecules, molecular orbital energy level diagrams of this molecule, bond order, stabilization energy and magnetic properties of this molecule. So for this lecture this is the plan. So formation of B2, C2, N2, O2, F2, Na2 molecules we have to explain. So what is the common in this molecule? So first of all we will see the electronic configuration. So electronic configuration of boron 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Then we have the carbon 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Then we have nitrogen 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Then we have oxygen 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Then next fluorine 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. And the last one is neon 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So if you see, we have selected all the elements from the second row of periodic table from atomic number 5 to 10. The characteristic of all these molecules, all these elements is that they have the two shells of electron. The first shell is composed of 1s orbital and it is fulfilled, while second shell is composed of 2s2 and 2p orbital. So this is the common thing. All these elements consist of the 2s and 2p orbital in the outermost shell. So if you see the electronic configuration, the number of electron goes on increasing in the p orbital. For boron 2p1, carbon 2p2, then nitrogen 2p3, like this oxygen 2p4, fluorine 2p5 and neon 2p6. Okay, so the common thing in this element is that 2s and 2p orbital in the outermost shell. So the another characteristic of these molecules, of these elements is that all they form diatomic molecule such as B2, C2, N2, O2, F2. So among these molecules, we are very much familiar with the oxygen, nitrogen and the fluorine. Okay, while B2, C2, okay, they are slightly less common, and when we'll explain these molecule, we'll come across why these are less common. So we have 1s atomic orbital in these elements, which is inertial atomic orbital. This inertial atomic orbital is small in size. It is not oriented up to the periphery of the atom, and hence this 1s atomic orbital do not take part in the bonding. This is the important characteristic that we have to remember, that though 1s atomic orbital is present in this element, it is inertial, that is small in size, and as it is small in size, it is not oriented up to the periphery and it cannot take part in the bonding. So ultimately the valence shell 2s and 2p orbitals are there. They are had oriented up to the periphery of the molecule, periphery of the atom, and hence both of them have a suitable energy, suitable size, and hence they can take part in a bonding. So when we will explain the B2, C2, N2, O2, F2 molecule, we have to remember that the 2s and 2p atomic orbital in these element, they are suitable for the bonding and they can take part in the formation of the molecule. So we have the 2s and 2p atomic orbital. So we have the two different types of atomic orbital and they will interact with each other. That is the 2s and 2p atomic orbital of one atom will interact with another atom and different types of interactions are possible. Why the different types of interaction? Since one thing, they have different energies. 2s is having lower energy than 2p and 2s and 2p atomic orbital have different shape and different variation. Even in the 2p we have the 2px, 2py and 2pz, and these three p type of atomic orbital have different symmetry properties and different orientation, and hence this gives rise different types of interaction. So which interaction is possible? 2s 2s, 2pz 2pz, 2py 2py, 2px 2px. So if you see the bonding in the molecule depending on the energies of the orbitals and orientation of the orbital for these element, the similar type of interaction is possible. 2s 2s interact with each other, 2pz 2pz interact, 2py 2py and 2px 2px. Okay, so the total four types of interaction and they can be categorized into the two categories. So which are the two categories? 2s and 2s and 2pz 2pz interaction. This is possible along the internuclear axis, and as this is possible along the internuclear axis, this will result into the formation of the sigma types of atomic orbit, sigma types of molecular orbit. While we have the 2py, 2py and the 2pz, 2pz, these interactions are possible perpendicular to the internuclear axis, and hence they will result into the formation of the pi molecular orbit. So we have total four types of orbital interaction: 2s 2s, 2pz 2pz, and this will result into the formation of the sigma type of the molecular orbital, while the 2py 2py and the 2pz 2pz, they will result into the formation of the pi types of molecular orbit. Okay, so already you are familiar with this interaction. So we have the 2s 2s interaction. So we have these 2s atomic orbital of the two atoms. They will interact with each other. In phase interaction, we get the bonding molecular orbital. Okay, psi A plus psi B. This is the in phase interaction, and we get the bonding sigma 2s atomic orbital. While we have the out of phase interaction psi A minus psi B, this will result into the antibonding type of interaction and it will form sigma star 2s antibonding molecular orbit. Like this we have the PZ interaction. The in phase interaction will result into the formation of bonding molecular orbital. So this is the result of in phase interaction of 2pz atomic orbital, and this will form 2pz sigma 2pz bonding orbital, and like this out of phase interaction will generate the sigma A minus sigma B antibonding type of the interaction. Okay, so we have this antibonding molecular orbital resulted from the 2pz to pz interaction, and it is labeled as sigma star 2pz. Okay. So the third type of interaction that will result into the formation of the pi bond. So px or the py interaction. The interaction is perpendicular to the internuclear axis, and in phase interaction will result into this pi bonding molecular orbital, and it is labeled as pi to px, or if py orbital is there, pi to py, and the out of phase interaction will result into the antibonding molecular orbital. So this is the out of phase interaction. It will resulted into the pi antibonding molecular orbital, and it is pi star to px. If py orbital is there, it will be pi star to py orbital. Okay, so we have the total 4 types of orbital interaction, and they will result either in the formation of the sigma or pi bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so the another characteristic, if you calculated, on each atom there are 4 orbitals, 2s and 3 2p orbital. So 4 orbital. 2 atoms are there in a molecule. So totally 8 8 atomic orbital. So these 8 atomic orbital will form 8 molecular orbital. We have the rule. Number of atomic orbital are equal to the number of molecular orbital. So 2 atoms, total 8 atomic orbital involved in the formation of the molecular orbital, and as there are 8 atomic orbital, ultimately we will get 8 molecular orbital. Okay. So now we will see the general molecular orbital energy level diagram and labeling of molecular orbital. So for this molecule B2, C2, N2, O2 and F2, just we will see how these 4 atomic orbitals of each atom will be involved, and how the molecular orbital energy level diagram can be organized. So the first thing, already I have discussed, energy of 2s atomic orbital is less than 2p, and this will reflect into the molecular orbital energy level diagram. So if you see the molecular orbital energy level diagram, this vertical axis is the energy axis. So vertical axis we have energy axis. On the left side we have the atomic orbital of the atom 1. On the right hand side we have atomic orbital of the second atom, and at the central position we have molecular orbital. So this is the organization of the atomic and molecular orbital. Now the 2s atomic orbital, they are lower in energy than that of the 2p atomic orbital. Suppose this is the energy level. Okay, you can see this is the energy level of the 2s atomic orbital. Like this we have the energy level of the 2p atomic orbital. So already I described that 2s and 2p, they are different in energy. 2s is lower, so they are shown at lower position. 2p are higher in energy, hence they are shown in the higher level. Okay, higher energy level. So we have the atomic orbital, and this atomic orbital will result into the formation of the molecular orbital. So we have the 2s, okay, so 2s atomic orbital of one atom will interact with 2s atomic orbital, and in phase interaction will result into the formation of the sigma bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so the out of phase interaction will result into the antibonding molecular orbital. This is antibonding molecular orbital, and it is shown also here. Okay, then we have the 2pz 2pz interaction. In phase interaction, it will result into the bonding. Out of phase interaction, it will result into the anti-bonding. So we have the bonding orbital, anti-bonding orbital, and these are the sigma types, and they are resulted from the interaction of the 2pz 2pz. Then we have 2py. Okay, so 2py. So we have the pi molecular orbital. So 2px and 2py, they are similar in energy and they form the pi molecular orbital. So pi bonding. So here also the pi bonding, and then next pi anti-bonding. Okay, so this is the general molecular orbital energy level diagram for these molecules. So labeling sigma 2s. Why sigma 2s? This is a result into the sigma bonding. Okay, and formed from the 2s atomic orbital. So sigma 2s, then sigma star 2s, like this, sigma 2pz, pi 2px, pi 2py, then we have pi star 2px, pi star 2py, and sigma star 2pz orbitals. Okay, so this is the general molecular orbital energy level diagram and the labeling of molecular orbitals in the energy level diagram. So how the molecular orbitals are organized in the energy level diagram? According to their energy. Sigma 2s is lower in energy. So we have the order of the energy, sigma 2s, then sigma star 2s, then sigma 2pz, pi 2px and pi 2py similar in energy. Then we have the pi star 2py, pi star 2px. Again they are similar energy. And lastly, highest energy are the sigma star 2pj. Okay. So atomic orbitals are organized according to their increasing energy. Like this molecular orbital in molecule, they are also organized according to their increasing energy. Okay. Now we have to see the molecular orbital energy level diagram for these 5 molecules, and we have to explain the formation of N2, O2, F2 molecules as well as B2 and C2 molecules. But there are modifications in energy level diagram. And why the modification? The modifications are depending on the magnetic properties. Okay, so the magnetic properties of molecule are studied. So if you see the molecule may be diamagnetic or molecule may be paramagnetic. Okay, so what is diamagnetic molecule? All electron in the molecule are in the paired state. This molecule is called as a diamagnetic, while the molecule in which one or more electrons are in the unpaired state, this molecule is paramagnetic in nature. So if you see these 5 molecules, the magnetic properties are studied first. Magnetic properties of these elements are, these molecules are known. So the magnetism or the magnetic properties are obtained practically, and afterward the molecular orbital energy level diagram is explained. So if you see the characteristic of this molecule, B2 and O2 molecule, okay, B2 and O2 molecule, these are paramagnetic in nature. What it means? We know that experimentally these two molecules B2 and O2 consist of unpaired electron, while molecule C2, N2 and F2, they are diamagnetic. What it means? These three molecules consist of all electron in the paired state. This is the meaning of the diamagnetism in the molecule. Okay, so practically we know which is the molecule paramagnetic in nature and which are the molecule which are diamagnetic in nature. So keeping in the magnetic properties of these molecules in mind, we have to construct molecular orbital energy level diagram for these 5 molecules, and we can alter the above represented molecular orbital energy level diagram according to the magnetic properties. So, very first we will start with the B2 molecule. So electronic configuration of boron, atomic number of boron is 5, 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. So ultimately the 1s orbital will not take part in the bonding. Okay. So the second thing, already we know the B2 molecule is paramagnetic in nature and it consists of 2 unpaired electrons. So this is detected experimentally, we know, and depending on this we have to explain, or we have to construct, or we have to modify the molecular orbital energy level diagram. Okay. So already we have seen the components of molecular orbital energy level diagram, and we will see what will happen to the B2 molecule when the molecular orbital energy level diagram is constructed. Okay. So 2s and the 2p atomic orbital, the 2s interact to form the bonding and anti-bonding, the 2p interact to form the bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital. So we have sigma ts, sigma 2pz, pi star, and the sigma 2pz. Okay. So you are familiar with this molecular orbital energy level diagram, and now we will fill the electrons. Okay. So totally how many electron we have to fill? 6 electron. Okay. From each atom we have to fill 3 electron. Okay. So you can see here 1, 2 and 3 electron of one boron atom and 3 electron of the another boron atom. So totally we have to fill up the 6 electron. So first electron already we have filled, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. Okay. So if you see the electronic configuration of B2 molecule, it is now Kk. Okay, why Kk is written? This is for 1s atomic orbital. The K shell of electron is fulfilled, and there are 2 1s atomic orbital, so it represents the Kk. Sigma 2s, both electron are paired. Sigma star 2s2, both electron are paired. Sigma 2pz, both electrons are paired. So if you see this molecular orbital energy level diagram, this predicts that B2 molecule is diamagnetic. But what is the observed case? B2 molecule is paramagnetic. So it means that this molecular orbital energy level diagram must be modified. The modification in the energy level diagram can be done on the basis of the observed paramagnetic nature of the boron molecule. This indicates that in the B2 molecule, sigma 2pz must be higher in energy than pi 2px and pi 2py molecular orbital. If this change is done, what will happen? Two electrons will be unpaired in the pi 2px and pi 2py orbital. Now we'll see. So there is a change here. Pi 2px is lower in energy and sigma 2pz is higher in energy. Then the two electrons will be fed in the pi 2px and pi 2py, and they will remain in the unpaired state. Okay. So boron molecule electronic configuration Kk. This is for 1s non-bonding orbitals of each boron atom. Then sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, pi 2px1, 2py1. Thus, if you see electronic configuration and the bond order becomes 4 minus 2, 4 electron in the bonding, 2 in the anti-bonding, divided by 2. So 4 minus 2 upon 2 is the 1. Bond order in the boron molecule is 1. The stabilization energy 4 minus 2 delta, then 2 into plus delta, and the difference of these two terms, it becomes minus 2 delta. So bond order and stabilization energy indicate that the boron molecule must be formed and it must be stable. But if you see the molecular orbital energy level diagram, it shows that there is one electron in pi to px and one electron in pi to py. Thus, indirectly you can say that there are two half pi bonds are formed. And the peculiarity, the characteristic of pi bond is that pi bond is very, very less stable and it is not formed without presence of the sigma bond. So B2 molecule, it is very, very difficult to isolate and to study the property. So B2 molecule, it is very, very less stable and can be formed in the specialized condition only. The second case is of the C2 molecule. Okay, C2 molecule, electronic configuration of carbon 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So ultimately 2s and 2p atomic orbital will take part in the bonding. And what we know, C2 molecule is diamagnetic in nature. So it consists of all electron in the paired state. So molecular orbital energy level diagram, it is similar to the boron. Okay, so this is the molecular orbital energy level diagram. And now just we'll see the filling of electron. Totally how many electron we have to fill? 2s2, 2p2. So from each carbon atom 4 electron and hence totally 8 electron we have to fill. So we have to fill 8 electron, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you see the carbon atom electronic configuration becomes Kk sigma 2s2 sigma star 2s2 pi 2 px2 pi 2 py2. All electron are paired state, and as electron are paired state, this is diamagnetic in nature. So what is observed? We have explained. Then bond order 6 electron in the bonding, 2 in the anti-bonding. So 6 minus 2 upon 2 is equal to 2. Bond order of C2 molecule is 2. The stabilization energy you can calculate very easily, and it is minus 4 delta. Okay, minus 4 delta. So bond order and the stabilization energy, they are in the favor of the formation of C2 molecule. But C2 molecule, again, it is very, very less stable. It cannot be isolated. The reason is that again, the formation of the pi bonds only, which are very, very less stable, having very, very less strength, and they can be formed only in presence of the sigma bonds. Okay, so the C2 molecule and the B2 molecule, what we have to remember, 2pz atomic orbital, they are higher in energy than 2py and 2px atomic molecular orbital. This thing